In 2026, where we are right now, that was terrible. Let me start again.
Where we are right now.
AI can write faster, cheaper, and at scale. So execution is no longer a differentiating factor for freelancers. To keep up, we need to shift from being task doers to the actual thinking partners who bring insight and context and sound sound judgment, hopefully, to the table. And the idea behind this is delivering value beyond just the deliverable and being really easy to work with and hard to replace is the kind of power move, I suppose, in 2026. And I think from here on in. So yeah, Shay, you did a whole bunch of research and you've got a proof point to prove the point. So yeah, over to you.
Yeah, so just to contextualize, we are doing a series on some of the trends in freelancing right now. So this is one of them. So this is the first one. And we've called it From Task Doer to a Trusted Partner. So basically from someone like Megan said, who just gets the brief and does the thing, to actually becoming more of a strategic ally to your clients. So apparently, global freelance rates rose by about 12% in 2025, and clients are paying more for reliability and business impact, which makes sense. I mean, at the end of the day, that's often what the biggest gripe is about a freelancer is, oh, they were unreliable. So, I mean, just ticking, and we've spoken about this before, just ticking that super simple box of delivering on time, being available when you say you are, communicating effectively, you're already setting yourself up as someone that your client can trust. And that's huge. I mean, I don't know if you have a similar experience, but just even outside of work, when you've got someone who you can trust to do the job, you're not even going to look elsewhere. And if you can find it cheaper, you're probably not even going to bother because you know that this is the person you can rely on, rather trust the devil you do than the devil you don't. So my car has been giving me issues at the moment. So I've got this mechanic who's close by. I know that I can drop it off there. It's convenient. He can come fetch me and all that kind of thing. So, have I even bothered seeing if he's the best person for the job? Not really, because I'm happy to pay for the convenience and the fact that I know he's reliably can help me and generally fixes my car pretty quickly. So I think just by ticking that box, that's one way of becoming a trusted partner is really just by being reliable. Um, but I think added to that, and this is what I've been noticing with my clients, is that they're also are relying on you to be a bit strategic. So we're both writers, right? But it can apply to any freelance role where instead of just accepting the brief and doing the thing, you maybe ask them some questions like, okay, well, what business outcome are you trying to achieve here? And that simple question can help align you to being to doing your work better, firstly, and then secondly, just being perceived as more of a partner than someone who just executes. So can you think of some examples from your work where people see you as a strategic partner, not just the doer?
Essentially, my role has gone from being, receiving the brief, delivering and creating the output to before the brief is even created, having kind of long strategy sessions. And it's having a knock-on effects as well. So firstly, my rates have been able to go up because I'm being a lot more strategic. But the deliverable, the timelines, I don't know if you're finding this, but timelines are extending a lot because instead of just getting a thing that you can sit down and write in 2 days or whatever, you're now having like multiple sessions beforehand. There's a lot of interviews involved, at least for what I do. And then there's kind of fleshing out exactly what the structure is going to be, where it's going to be positioned within the marketing funnel. Then only is the execution. So there's a lot of build up now before you actually write the piece or create the piece. I'm no longer just the executioner. I'm leveraging like 20 years of industry experience and my own self-learning, etc., to help you deliver the product that you're looking for. And I think that is, I mean, it always was part of the package, I suppose, when you create a deliverable, but it's becoming more the focus rather than the article or the logo or whatever it is on the at the end of the project.
I think to your point, when you have a client that is a long-standing client and who you want to continue working with, perhaps you're on a retainer basis with them, what you're bringing to the table also is just that insight and understanding of their business that no bot can ever really replicate. They're not seeing the nuances of even the team dynamics. Like, as an observer, you might see, okay, I know this person likes to receive their content this way, and I know that this person doesn't like it when that person checks this first. All those little nuances that it takes a bit of empathy and human insight to understand. So I think as a freelancer, it's really good to be observant and to take those cues and just be proactive about it.
Yeah.
I mean, I just think some of maybe the practical ways, if we can give a list to people of what you can do to become more of a strategic partner is, okay, like we said, be reliable, be easy to work with. I mean, that really, you'd think it would be table stakes hygiene factor, but that alone sets you, excuse me, apart from many other freelancers. Asking about business impact is another important thing to do. Like, what is the point? Why am I doing this? Not just accepting a brief as, something that you need to execute. And then, maybe also pushing back at times when you see something that you think, hey, we could do this better, or I don't necessarily agree with that, instead of just blindly accepting what you think what the client tells you to do. Something else
Yeah.
is actually asking for feedback. So I try with my big clients, just at least every 2 months or something, just say, hey, how am I doing? What can I do better? I try to ask kind of specific questions because it's a lot easier. You get more valuable information than, just how am I doing? Specifically, what can I do better? What do you find yourself changing of the work that I do? What do you wish would happen different in the way we work? Questions like that, because it also shows that you care, right? And also it helps you become a better freelancer too. Yeah, so I mean, those are just some very general things that I think all freelancers can apply to their client relationships to position you as a trusted partner. Oh, one more, taking an interest in their industry. So I think we've mentioned this before, something where you set up a Google alert to receive news articles about their industry, and that you can forward to them and say, oh, hey, I saw this and I thought you might be interested to read it. Just going that extra step to really become part of the team.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we're going to delve in a couple of episodes time about building relationships and that sort of thing and networking. But yeah, if you have got existing clients and essentially you're just the executioner right now for briefs, you can kind of start positioning, like you say, start positioning yourself as a little bit more of a strategic partner. Don't just swallow the brief and create the output. Actually go back before you've even written anything and like, have you thought about this? Because as someone who writes a lot or someone who designs a lot or whatever your industry is that you're freelancing in, um, I have noticed that XYZ, and this is really working very well right now. This is what I'm doing for other clients. Do you want to try something similar? My very first boss, in when I started my first corporate job, he said, always ask, because the answer is always no, but it might just be yes. You won't know until you ask the question. So, yeah, start positioning yourself as a strategic partner by actually suggesting options or ideas or whatever on pieces instead of just executing. I think that's what you said. So I'm just basically repeating what you said.
In case you missed it, in case anyone missed it, we've said it many times now. So take the tips.
On that note, we would like to hear from you. Have you kind of seen a shift in your role as a freelancer? Have you become more strategic, or are you still just the executioner? Let us know in the comments, and otherwise we will see you in the next episode.